Alright, what do we want to do? At least we'll go to SpongeBob's Dream. Do you want to play any of that?
Yeah, I'll do a little bit. We'll go back and forth on that.
Hold skip.
This fucking passes out in the middle of the street.
In the original game, you would have eyelids closing over your
Yeah.
thing. And they actually animated these giant 3D black eyelids that were SpongeBob's eyelids.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Okay, so we're not going to get every spatula in this area.
Ooh, mustache. I hope he keeps the mustache.
He does not. They also didn't animate it very well. They should have just fucking added it to him.
Yeah.
They did it better in the fucking 2004 version of the movie game.
Yep.
So in the original game, that spatula was over a gap, and you had to land on something. So if you fucked up getting it, you had to come back and redo all this.
Yeah.
The block jumping puzzle. They fucking fixed it and changed it in this one, so you don't have to do that.
Blocks are some of the coolest parts of this game.
Oh no!
That kind of worked out. Almost.
Almost. Fuck.
He looks so happy while falling to his death.
Right? Well, he gets to see Hans. No!
I'm making a Die Hard reference and I was extremely surprised.
No.
I don't know who Hans is.
Hans Gruber isn't the bad guy in Die Hard, but he was just mispronouncing hands.
No, his name in the... His canonical name is Hans in SpongeBob. No! That's what I used to do, too. And no, I wouldn't be making a Die Hard reference. I only watch good movies.
I don't think I've seen Die Hard.
Me either. God, motherfucker.
But, got too impatient.
This is the worst part of this level.
First bit?
Yes. 100% the first bit. So I guess we will do this one because it's actually a lot easier than the original. Because you jump off on top of the bubble to get, or the ball. And you don't have to, push the ball to make it be as... There we go.
Yeah.
Before, it was above the end, so you had to jump on the ball and up. Now you can also just walk up if you fuck up and redo it. So much easier. Also, you can 100% just skip half this slide.
Sandy time.
Yep. Do you want to do this one?
I wanna.
Yeah.
Dirty Dan.
No, I'm Dirty Dan.
Dirty Dan.
Oh, I'm Dirty Dan.
Dirty Dan.
I don't remember anything else from that episode.
I do not.
Other than tearing fucking Sandy's hair off to use his fucking warmers. Even dreams. It's on top of a golden acorn, they say, but it's not really golden. It just kind of looks like a normal acorn.
I need to hold it.
Yes. Expecting you to fuck it up again, to be honest. Spoke too soon!
I didn't think I needed to jump. Oh, I thought I had that. Nope, turns out I am
Shit. Absolute shit.
just right up against
Human
it.
garbage. Absolute fucking trash.
Yep. Excuse me.
There you go. Immediately fucks up and dies again.
She actually has a proper surfboard.
Yeah. I don't know where it comes from. She just kind of makes it appear. But, good save. Good save. And you've got enough shiny objects to go do the other spatula that you have to get off here to do.
Shane, there's one right above you at the start there. You don't even have to glide over to that one.
Now you're gonna need to tilt your camera. Don't use your face!
That's the only thing I have.
God.
Yes, I will treat your controllers as my own.
They are not. Do not treat your controllers the way you would treat yours. Treat them better. Some people actually like to take care of their stuff.
Can I touch the oil?
Yes, you can touch the oil. You'll just slide. I was lucky. Yeah, you can't destroy them easily. I was gonna say that should spawn the spatula. There's a sock behind the building as well. That we should attempt to get, or the truth we've got, because we're not going to get all of them in this area. We're in SpongeBob's dream level.
Yeah.
Because there's one that's annoying that takes you, or sends you back in the Squidward's dream area.
Yeah.
Fuck, I hate the Squidward's dream area.
One where you jump over all the notes and stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Clayton, wherever you are.
Right there.
No. That's going the wrong way.
You suck! I did not know that was the way you came.
Going downhill, I assumed that was the right direction to go on a slide. Now it's forcing me back uphill.
It's because things float upwards and we're under the sea. Also in a dream.
Yeah.
Don't use logic in this game. It's SpongeBob. Don't you know?
Fucking hate myself.
As you should.
If I do this isn't a minute I have to be in your company.
Let me do it.
No. I haven't played in a while.
We still have to go over the game ideas and talk about that.
We can do that on Facebook.
Nah. It's much easier in person because I've got all the physical stuff.
I've gone backwards massively, haven't I?
Yes. Very much so. Give me the goddamn controller!
Fucking trash in this game!
Your like 10-year-old self would fucking
Yep.
be so disappointed in you.
My 10-year-old self would be disappointed in myself for almost every aspect of my life. Like, you got super fat. I mean, that's most of it. Then again, what was I gonna do? I love fried chicken so much.
So in case you can't tell, I'm playing again. You could probably tell based on the
Success.
the high level of quality in my playing. Not dying every 6 seconds.
I didn't even know that was there.
Yep. I was gonna tell you when you got closer, but you never made it far enough for me to even bother telling you. Have you been watching any of Zero Punctuation? That's been.
No, I haven't watched that guy in fucking long time.
Oh, I watch his stuff every week. And
I've watched him since high school. We used to quote him constantly.
Really? It's been that long since you watched him?
I really just watched it for the quotes you were into.
I thought you liked him.
I do. I just don't. The problem is I just don't play enough different video games anymore.
Yeah, neither do I. I just like listening to him swear and talk about his balls for a living, which is one of his quotes. You should check out his Dev Diary series. It's really cool, because it's like, if if you want to make games, it's a good idea to watch that kind of stuff, just because of, like, he's been making games for years.
Yeah.
He's
Might
got
do that
2
kinda
games on Steam, and then he's got a bunch on freeware, and all the ones that he did for his dev diary, except for the one that he's working on now. Because originally he was doing 12 games in 12 months.
Yeah.
And he completed that, managed to complete all 12 games. They're not amazing. They're interesting concepts. He made a game. His first one was called Pre-Flight Panic. Pre-Flight Panic. There we go. And it was, you played as a stewardess, and you had to make sure that everyone's trays were in their upright position, and they weren't on their devices, and they weren't, and that everything was the way it has to be, so that the plane can take off, and if it wasn't, then the plane would crash. You had to make sure that, or that was interesting. His second one was called Battle Royale. Originally, it was Battle Royale Tycoon, but that's actually a thing. So then he made BRTV, which is Battle Royale Television. And you were basically, have you seen The Hunger Games? You read The Hunger Games, didn't you, in school?
I read it for my own enjoyment.
Did you? Really?
Yep. No, that was around the time where I started learning how to read, so I read a lot of books around that time.
Okay. So in The Hunger Games, you know...
Trust me, if you've been illiterate for 14 plus years, learning to read is quite interesting.
Yeah. So in The Hunger Games...
So you couldn't get up there.
Yeah, for a second I was like, the fuck? In The Hunger Games, there's the game makers, and they can send stuff to people, and they can point the cameras at the people they want to point it at.
Yeah.
That's basically what he was doing, is he was creating a Battle Royale style game, like Fortnite, but it was all top-down, and you could control who got to be seen by the cameras and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. His third one was based on the story, The Music of Eric Zahn, which is a Eldritch, or a Lovecraft novel, or a Lovecraft story, where this guy has to play a viol, which is a stand-up thing, to appease cosmic horrors in the story. And you were doing that in the game, but you were playing a violin.
Yeah. Oh boy, this section.
He did a kind of idle style game where a story would play out about a happy dog.
Yep.
And then there was a cat who would come in and other stuff would happen that was trying to press a button, and it was called The Button That Ruins Everything. And if the button was pressed, the dog's head would explode.
Oh.
So you had to stop the cat from doing it and stuff like that. It was his take on a fuck! An idle game.
It's his take on a fuck!
It was his take on an idle game. He, just open that box. He did a game about having to call, like, the DMV and get your license renewed. And you had to... It was called Hold the Phone, and you had to watch or you had to do stuff to keep your blood pressure down so you didn't die. You had to go to the bathroom, and...
All while being on the phone.
Yeah, all the while being on the phone and getting information that it needed that was across the room that you actually couldn't move. His final one was really cool. It was very community-oriented. It was called Bunker Bustin'. And, there's also paintings all over through this that are related to stuff that has happened since meme-wise and in the show. His final one was Bunker Bustin', where you were playing a dictator who was going to kill himself, but he couldn't just shoot himself in the head because that had no honor to it. And you had to, like, ricochet the bullet off of the walls and stuff.
That's kind of cool.
And sometimes there were people you couldn't kill, and sometimes people that you had to kill as well as yourself.
Yeah.
And you had to do it in a certain number of ricochets.
Yeah.
And every level was saved using a very kind of elaborate code, but the code was small enough that it could fit into a Twitter thing, which is like 160 characters.
Yeah.
So that people could make their own levels in the game. And so this is fucked up. This happens.
What?
Where the generation doesn't work properly.
Ah.
So you gotta kill yourself to make it fix. So people could make their own games. They could even manipulate the code if they understood it enough.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can make these jumps. Yeah, I can. So yeah, sometimes the code fucks up and it doesn't execute properly in this, but yeah, you could make your own levels, which was really cool for his final game. He did one that was kind of like Subnautica, but it was just called There's Something in the Sea, and you had to you had to collect a bunch of items. It was kind of like Slender the 8 Pages.
Yeah.
You had to collect a bunch of items before you could finish the level.
You should make a game where you can survive his boat with the jam.
Well, he's working on a game that for a while was just called Space Game, because he didn't have a title for it, but he doesn't want it to turn into Untitled Goose Game, and that just it always be called Goose Game. God, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So he ended up soliciting some help on the title. It's called Starstruck Vagabond now. Basically, the tutorial of the game is you start out on a spaceship, you do a mission for, and you're transporting some cargo. You go into cryosleep so that you can return to Earth, and you go into cryosleep for like 70 years, but then something fucks up, and you go into cryosleep for way too long. And you wake up like 4,000 years later, everything that you knew, and all that, and your job that you were originally doing, it's all gone, they've all forgotten about you, and now you need to take up, and you're basically doing space trucking, and you're doing all this stuff to get money and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. He's got he's been developing it as Season 2, or during Season 2 of Dev Diary, because Season 1 was the 12 games in 12 months.
Okay. You know what program he uses to make them?
He uses GameMaker Studio from Steam, I believe.
So that's probably what I was going to use to make your stuff. So I'm familiar with it.
You have that?
I've used it before. Back when it was free, I used to use it from all my other games I made.
Okay, you know it's paid, right?
Yeah, you pay for it now.
Yeah. Do you still have the old version that you can use, or?
No, they got rid of that.
Okay, so you're gonna buy that, is what you're saying.
I mean, I'll buy a year. So that's only $50. The permanent one's like $150.
Is it?
I don't know. I don't think I'll buy. But you got health to spare. Fuck it.
Yup. Okay. So they changed this. Before you could basically use the cruise bubble to nuke those things. Now they have bubbles around them, and the bubbles respawn faster than you can get a second cruise bubble to them.
Oh, for fuck's sake, guys. Don't be mean. Don't be actually work for this.
Right? What? Did I exit?
Maybe.
The fuck did I exit? That's not a thing. I pressed the B button. I did.
What are you fighting them for?
Because you have to.
That was an infinite.
Yes, it is. It's infinite. But you have to fight them in order to get the levels of the spatula of the patties to come out. It's just really fucking annoying is what it is. Fuck.
Don't just brute force it. Have some. Boom.
Oh, fuck.
So is each enemy type you kill a little or a different type of burger?
This one's finished. So now I can go up here and just start destroying things from above. That one's almost done. That brings that one down.
Jump.
I was.
Go quickly.
Problem is, you also have to destroy everything before you can
Yeah, then you just nuke them off from here with the bubble missile.
Not really. Doesn't really work that way for the triple ones. I just need to get better at jumping over them. Oh, I thought I was fucked there. Oh, thank Jesus.
Yep. So close.
I'm gonna go get the sock first, though. Hopefully the spatula's still there.
It should be. It doesn't usually respawn.
It usually does not. Collect that, and then fuck off. It did reset the fight, but I don't need to redo the fight.
Yep. God, we're slowly making progress.
We're making progress. The last one here is Patrick's dream.
Excuse me. Yeah. Which you just have to walk around in.
Yeah, they didn't even include any of the old stuff, so it's not a big deal. This one sucks. If you're not good at timing.
Dear God, it's fucking... I want to play Patrick's.
Okay. There's nothing to do in Patrick's.
I can do this one.
Definitely you can do this one. Don't skip through it! We're like, I want to play this one! Really, Shane? You're not even going to collect the golden spatula? Yeah, you can't just walk.
Remember the old one? You just fucked right off.
You would walk straight off, and then it would loop you back to the other side.
Yeah, I love that.
Yep,
Really
I loved it too. I was really annoyed that they didn't do it. This was my favorite dream in the original SpongeBob.
Yeah, me too.
Stream level.
You got that cool effect in it.
And they didn't include it.
It's a pearly fucking gates and he's dead.
Well, all of them have these pearly gates. Yeah. Well, except for Sandy's. Sandy's had a Texas Corral thing, but...
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
Was that,
Patrick from the secret
right,
box
yes.
one? Alright, so again.
Oh, Lord!
Matt, what the fuck are you doing?
God damn it, Shane. Fuck you.
It was all right from the get.
Just like capitalism.
It's a Fallout New Vegas quote, but whatever.
Yes, but I made it timely. Alright. What? But yeah, it's a really cool game. He's gonna release it kind of like they did with Minecraft, or you can buy it on a website and release it. And he's gonna release it for money, so that people can start playing it and find the problems with it, and then he can make it. Which is what a lot of games are doing nowadays. Subnautica did it.
That's a good way to outsource your fucking beta testing.
Yeah, like you don't even have to pay people to do it. They'll pay you to do your beta testing.
Yeah, no, it's great.
It's not super great in story-based games. Like Minecraft, it was fine. Subnautica, they made a sequel called Subnautica Below Zero that's taking place on another part of that planet.
Yep.
And it's,
I've seen someone play that.
what, Subnautica? Or Below Zero?
I like it because it has a lot of ice stuff.
Yeah, so the Below Zero one has all the ice. They fired their story writer and brought in someone new, and are now completely changing the story.
Yep.
I would never buy a game that's in beta. Because I don't want my first experience of the game to be something that's half garbage.
Yeah.
Even if I am being like, oh, hey, this is garbage, now you can fix it. Because by the time it's fixed, I'm not going to play it again.
Yeah, you're gonna be sick of it.
Depends how pricey it is. It's like $3 maybe.
Yeah, it depends.
I'd still rather spend my $3 on something on the Nintendo eShop that's polished.
Yeah. I don't buy... The only time I would buy a game that is in beta... Like, I bought Minecraft. Minecraft is still in beta, technically. They're never going to be done updating that game. even though they released it physically on all the consoles and are still changing things.
Yeah. But updating games is a lot easier than it used to be, so.
Yeah. Which is, it's good and bad. Because now you get games that are like, oh, we'll just release it early. Like this. This was forced to release early because of, there was a movie coming out. The game wasn't ready.
Yeah.
There was, like, there was a lot of stuff that could have been improved on it. But they were like, oh, we'll just patch it later. And that's a bad mentality to have. Is,
Yeah.
we could make our game good and spend our time doing that. Or we could release a subpar product and have people buy it anyway.
For indie games, that at least something that's honest, it's a good way for the creator to get some fucking income while they develop it.
Yeah, especially if they're an indie studio that doesn't have a lot of income. The game can come out sooner because they can afford to not be having a day job.
Yeah.
But like recently as last year, Crash Nitro Kart or Crash Team Racing. Yeah, Crash Team Racing got re-released called Crash CTR Nitro Fueled. They released it, and then about a month later, after all the reviews and everything had come in talking about the game, and after the game had its rating as E for everyone, a month after they released it, they added microtransactions to the game, paid microtransactions.
Oh, wow.
So that none of the reviews could include them, and they could get a month or so of sales under the E for everyone rather than teen, because most places are saying if it has gambling mechanics, it has to be rated T for teen.
Yeah.
And I just like that's so predatory. That is horrible.
Yep.
That they're
some EA game shit right there.
Well, it's not even EA. I think it was Activision that did it. I'm not entirely sure who published or developed the game, but
Can't know.
yeah. But yeah, that is absolute bullshit that they did that. And I fully agree that any game that has loot boxes that you can buy with money need to be teen or up. Hell, they should be M.
I'm not
I
really in
think
favor.
anything that allows you to spend money in the game
Yeah.
for any reason, loot box or otherwise, should be mature.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Because it's gambling.
Well, it doesn't even matter.
And
if it's
you have to be...
You could just pay money to automatically beat this level.
Yeah.
You could put a buck in and get a golden spatula.
Yeah. Which I absolutely see as one of the worst things to come out of the games industry in the last little while.
Oh, it absolutely is for players.
Yeah.
For companies, it's the best thing.
Yeah, I don't like microtransactions. Or games with like a shit ton of fucking DLC.
Yeah. I don't mind DLC as long as it's not like day one and it's like... So, Shell and I don't agree on this next thing I'm going to mention, but there's a game coming out that is called The Avengers. And it's gonna have it's made by Square Enix, I believe.
It's a city management sim?
Fuck off. And you play as the Avengers, Captain America dies, they've been established for a while, and Captain America dies. In an explosion that everyone thinks is the Avengers' fault, so the Avengers have to disband. The main characters are Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Black Widow, and I believe Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, is going to be in it. She's kind of like Captain Marvel, but she's also like... She's a mix between Captain Marvel and Mr. Fantastic.
Let's see, Captain Marvel in this. She's super OP.
She is fairly OP.
I didn't know who she was when I first watched that movie she's in. I didn't watch her
Endgame?
movie.
Yeah.
Like, who's this random person talking back to Thor? Thor's awesome.
Yeah.
And then she just, like, at the end of the movie, just fucks everyone up, like,
Yeah.
Mitch was right. Could have handled this herself completely.
Oh,
She
absolutely.
could've.
She probably could have done it on her own.
Here you go, that's a new strategy.
Yeah. They recently announced, recently as in like a few days ago, as of recording, that the PlayStation version is going to have an extra character included. Spider-Man. Because they got the exclusive Spider-Man game, and now they're including an exclusive character into a game. Now, mind you, Sony Video Games, they don't own the video game rights to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They own the movie rights to Spider-Man. So it doesn't make sense as to... It's just saying, hey, if you buy this game on any other console, your game is not going to be complete. Your game is going to be less complete than anybody who buys it on PlayStation. At least for most games, like Destiny, gets all kinds of, air quotes, exclusive stuff in Destiny, but for the most part, it's timed. I don't have a huge problem with timed exclusives as long as you don't have to pay for it later. But the PlayStation version is getting Spider-Man exclusively. And they're all going to be priced the same.
Yeah.
Of course. Which I think either all of them should get it, and it should be priced the same, or the game should cost less on Xbox and Switch and PC and all the other consoles that don't have Spider-Man, or it should cost more on PlayStation because it has more stuff. Because it's ridiculous that they're just keeping one of Marvel's most popular and biggest heroes from 2/3 of the people who are going to play this game.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I was tempted to buy it new because it looks like such a good game.
No, you weren't.
I was. It was on my list of games that I might buy new this year. But I'm definitely not buying it new because I don't want to give money to the studio. I will wait until I can get it used to keep money out of their pockets because of the shitty
You're talking
practice.
about this like exclusive characters haven't been around for the last.
I
20
know.
years.
They have been around.
well,
It doesn't make it
You
good.
still want to play the game, but you don't want to pay the people who made the game.
Yeah.
Because they put a character in for one... Is it like the developers had the fucking...
And it's not like... So,
Choice
what
over
Shell
that.
is talking about is in Soul Calibur 2, I think it was, on the GameCube, they included Link as a playable character.
Yeah.
That I don't have a huge problem with, because that is a Nintendo exclusive character that they included in this game on a Nintendo console. Fuck. Spider-Man is not a Sony exclusive game. If they included Kratos, and you could play as Kratos in Marvel's Avengers, I'd think it's weird, because he's not a Marvel character.
They can't... Like
But-
I said before, they can't include Spider-Man and the other types because they don't have the rights for that.
But they do. Square Enix is making this game. Square Enix, and it's not made by Sony. It's not published by Sony. It's on all the consoles, and Sony only owns the film rights. They don't.
Sony owns all the rights to Spider-Man, which explains why the games are PlayStation exclusive.
But they're not.
They are.
They're not. I have a game up there that's a fucking Xbox game. Spider-Man: Web of Shadows on the Xbox 360.
Sony can release a game on Xbox. And maybe they didn't have the rights back then.
They've had them since the early 2000s when they made the Spider-Man game or the Spider-Man movies. Well, that's not what I wanted to do, but
What you want to do is jump on the...
yeah, they made this a little bit more difficult.
Start by jumping to the one on the right.
Yeah, I know.
Prove I'm wrong.
What?
Nothing with cheering Shell on. There we go. Look at that.
Fucking camera change. But no, it's if they're gonna include it, it should either be paid DLC, or they shouldn't include it, or they should include it for everyone. Because
Clear Sony has some sort of edge to make the developers only give them Spider-Man.
yeah, I think it's ridiculous because I want to play as Spider-Man, but I'm not buying it on the PlayStation. The game looks really good, but
You do realize that by buying it, you're still supporting it.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are, because you're still... Somebody still paid money for that.
Yeah.
Which means they still got the money for the game you're playing.
Yes, but if I buy it new, they'll get the money from me and the other guy who bought it. If I don't buy it new, they'll only get the money from the guy who bought it new.
I'm sure they're crying over the $20 they lost off of you.
It's a way to show that
It
you...
seems like a
Yes,
really
it is.
heady way to, like... You still want the game overall, you just want to make sure people who built it don't get money for it.
Yeah. I want to make sure the studio doesn't make any money or extra money because they don't deserve it.
Okay, so here's a question. Let's say everybody has your game. Nobody buys the game because they can't have Spider-Man.
Yeah.
How are you going to play it? You still want to play it?
Yeah. I'm fine with buying it second hand. It seems like a really heady reason to fucking buy it second hand.
Don't fuck with the players.
I do think it is a stupid gimmick.
Fuck. I don't actually know how I'm supposed to
They hadn't announced this, and on release day, they
Just
came out with something that said, if you buy it on PlayStation, here's a code that gives you extra Spider-Man. Matt wouldn't have had a problem.
I still would have had a problem.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I fucking would have.
You just wouldn't have a choice over it.
Still don't have a choice.
I'd return my game and get it used.
Like you can kill them through the bubble.
Yeah. There we go. You fucking kidding me? It didn't track.
Yeah, it switched in the last second. Surprising the loading screens weren't proof at all.
Well, they're supposed to... I'm pretty sure the originals had bubbles going constantly.
I mean in terms of time.
Right? Remember when they said installing your games will make load times better?
Yep.
And then we all had to install our games, so they decided, fuck the load times, we don't care.
Yep. Maybe it does load faster, they just don't put as much work into optimizing it.
Alright.
Maybe it does load faster. You remember Tadaka.
Yeah. Well, that was installed too. It was one of those games that has to be installed.
Don't all the games on this
Yup.
have to be installed?
Yep. The PlayStation 3 always had to be installed. And then Xbox 360, you could install them, and it would make the load times better, they said.
Yeah.
And then, I never did that, because they never bothered me. But then they said, yeah, you have to install them now on Xbox One. Which was not ideal. Because I preferred being able to just, auto-play my games. Now I have to go back to do that. You used to be able to jump out of that animation. Anyway. I'm thinking I'm probably not going to get the new Xbox when it comes out right away.
Yeah, it's probably like $700.
Where oh, there it is. No, the price doesn't bother me.
Well, it's basically a computer.
That's what consoles are, they're just
It's
computers.
well, even more so. Consoles used to be like computer-type hardware with custom software. Now it's basically just going to be a computer. And you can, they
They
don't
look like
have...
fridges and shit now, it's hilarious.
The Xbox
Basically
does
just
kind
a
of look like a
tower.
mini fridge.
Small
And I don't have a problem with the console's price.
Yeah.
Because most consoles lose money on their price anyway. So making it a little bit more expensive so that they make something on it, I have no problem with that. These things are expensive to make.
You probably find they're still not making anything on it.
Oh, probably not.
But they could justify...
Selling it for $1,200?
$1,200 like Apple does for a high-end computer.
Yeah, fuck off.
He's
Apple
sitting
is
here with
telling
like
the fuck off.
$2,000 computer.
Yeah.
No, mine are not at all.
No, him sitting here with his $2,000 computer. But,
Maybe that's 2000, like a couple of years ago. I'll probably need to upgrade it in a year.
so I don't have a problem with the price. I have a problem with the fact that Xbox is saying we're not going to have any exclusives on launch. For like the first year, all their games are also coming out on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
So why would anyone buy the Xbox Series X right away if they're not going to have any exclusive
I
games?
also dislike their naming convention, or their lack thereof.
Yeah,
Disturbs me. Sony says 1, 2, 3, 4 is very easy.
Yeah, theirs is even worse. At least Xbox is coming up with something new every time.
Xbox can't count though. They're still using numbers. They're just not using them in any type of correct order.
Yeah.
And now they've included Roman numerals.
It's like Xbox 10, what the fuck?
No, it's the Xbox Series X. They did do... I thought the Xbox One was weird, but I understood their marketing decision for it.
I thought they were going to start counting 1, 2, 3, 4.
I
like
understood their marketing decision for calling it the Wii. I still think it was the stupidest thing named a console.
Why was it called the Wii?
Because we would like to play. They were marketing it as a console
Yeah.
gaming console for couch multiplayer.
Yeah,
I
I've said...
remember when it first came out, people fucked their TVs up a lot. It was hilarious.
Yeah. These people are dumb. Ah, got stuck on the geometry. Ah, feckers. I think that's the first time I've ever got a boss playing in the new one. But,
Some cool laser eyes, though.
yeah, why does a ghost have laser eyes? Why does a ghost breathe green fire? Why am I able to lasso a ghost?
On the dick.
These are the questions. Well, it's actually just tail, but... like...
Why are you still expecting SpongeBob to have water?
Yeah.
Fire underwater. That's all you need to know.
Yep.
Kitchen sponge living in a pineapple.
SpongeBob Smash Wang?
What?
SpongeBob Smash Wang?
Oh, for Smash Brothers?
Yep. Everyone's in Smash Brothers.
They've said specifically he won't be in it because it's hard to adapt media characters.
Well, it's also
Which is funny because Sonic's a multimedia character
Yeah,
too.
it's hard to get the licensing.
You figured they'd be cool with that.
What? The SpongeBob?
Yeah, you figured as many people would want their shit in Smash as possible, but they...
That's the thing. I don't understand. Like they put fucking Solid Snake and Bayonetta in Smash Brothers.
They probably put whoever they can get the rights for.
Yeah, the thing with that is that Nintendo has relationships already with other video game production companies and stuff.
Like Konami.
They don't really have a working relationship with Nickelodeon.
Yeah, Nickelodeon. They just publish their games on the console. The Konami, who makes Metal Gear Solid and Solid Snake, they published exclusively for a while on Nintendo consoles back in the day, and a couple of them were timed exclusives on GameCube.
Yeah, but even the Nickelodeon games on the console doesn't mean that Nintendo has a relationship with.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
They just have a relationship with the company that made the game.
Exactly
that
what I
has
was
the
saying.
rights from Nickelodeon.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Is that they may not have the what did I miss? Destroy the robot ship. What?
Jumping to a completely different column, I am super excited that they are remaking Pokemon Snap, and I cannot wait for more of that.
Absolutely.
Is that the picture one?
It's the picture one.
Yeah, they're remaking it. It's called New Pokemon Snap or something like that.
Matt has never played the original. So
I've played a bit of the
So
original.
I'm going to force him to play it, so viewers, watch out for that. That'll be coming up.
I've never played it either.
Problem is, we may not be able to. All the times that I've tried to record,
Also, it's a
and
Nintendo game. They don't usually let gameplay go up.
we posted all of the Sword and Shield
Yeah, I've never had a problem
Let's
with
Play that we did.
it. Anyways, it's super old. They're probably not going to play better.
But I tried recording some footage using our current equipment for,
Yeah, we'll try and get it working anyway.
yeah.
I think you're on the right ship. I think you need that to be able to cannon.
Yeah, but I have to destroy all the cannons on this one, and I thought I did. Shitters. Wasn't paying attention. What?
I'm just laughing at you falling.
Yeah, well, I'm doing 3 things at once. I'm looking at it, moving, talking to both of you. 2 things at once. Shut up. Shut up. No checkpoints. Pop in! Come on. Come on. Move that way. So I've pushed all the buttons on here. 4 out of 4 cannons. So there's something I didn't do over here that stopped me from... There's got to be another cannon that I missed somewhere. One of the robot laser cannons. It stops me from...
I'm sure it's not. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Pretty brave there.
Pretty brave with all this shit not fucking disappearing behind my head.
Yep. Isn't one other button you have to press, or?
No, it's... Probably something I didn't do that I was supposed to do. So I pressed that as... Oh, there it is. I had to pick up the spatula. Weird.
It's fucking hilarious.
I thought it gave it to me as...
Do you have enough money to just pay Mr. Krabs for all of them?
Possibly.
Do it.
But we are almost done. Like, this is... There's one more spatula in Flying Dutchman's Graveyard.
Come on.
We'll get that, and then we'll move on to our finale.
Let's just skip.
What?
Let's just pay Mr. Krab. Pay to win. Hand in the socks, Patrick.
We will do that if we need more. But I can get this one last spatula to make it easier on us. And then there's one inside the chum bucket that we can do. Yeah.
That's how you can jump now, can't you?
Yep.
It makes it so much easier.
Indeed it does. Indeed it does. Alright, so we need 3 more spatulas. And
yeah, we can get all those from Mr. Krabs.
we can get 1 from Mr. Krabs and 2 from Patrick. So we will be
Do
back.
the finale.
We will be back with the finale.